B-Ride.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, what's going on, guys? We are back here with another episode of the B-Ride Show, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here. Guys, so we brought back a very favorite guest of mine here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, I want you guys to reintroduce you guys to one of my favorite people in the world. Guys, give it up for CJ, aka our boy Siege. What is going on? Oh, you got a lot bigger since I last had you on here.
It's great to be back, man. It's great to be back on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my man. Yeah, it's okay. So we have done a lot of changes on this channel, so I'm very happy that you're back on here, guys.
Yeah, I can tell, man. You've been growing.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. One more round of applause for my boy, CJ Siege. Where's that other one? Sorry, wrong one. There it is. I was looking for that one.
I love the new soundboard, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So we, dude, this was a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. No, it's good, man. I appreciate you being on here, man. Thank you for coming back.
Of course.
How's the MMA going?
Oh, the MMA is going great. It's always going. It's an ever-moving cogwheel, dude.
Is it still working out? Still doing all that?
Oh, yeah. We're constantly training, always busy, always studying, just getting better. That's all you can do.
I had this guy. He went by the name Luis Ruiz. He was telling. I was asking him all kinds of questions. I did not know about black belts. I didn't know anything about the belt system. I didn't know none of that, dude. I was like, the rankings is. I was like, what?
Yeah, the belt system is very
cool.
intricate. It's its own thing.
Yeah,
it takes a long time.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. I was like, what? It takes that long just to.
Yeah, long time. Like you're up until you're training from child, and depending on the school, some schools are different, but most legit jiu-jitsu schools, like you're training from, you're little till like your adulthood. That's when you get your black belt, and then you can go past that too.
Really,
depending on the schools and the trainers.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, dude, I'm really happy you're back here, man. So everyone back at home, man. So this guy is a MMA fighter, and he's actually one of the big dogs here in Amarillo. So he can kick my ass, and he can probably kick yours too. So yeah, man. No, I had Luis here, and we're just running it down, dude. And dude, there's so much about MMA that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of happy about it. Also, that's what I was going to tell you. So everybody listening at home, October 19th, in the Civic Center, there will be some fights. What would you call that?
There's going to be fights at the Civic Center on October 19th for PFC or Peak Fighting Championships. We do still have on-hand tickets for me. And yeah, you can contact us for that, or you can get the pay-per-view, watch it at home with your family, get grill out, do all that stuff. My code on the website is Casarez, my last name. That's Casarez. If you ever want to get the pay-per-view, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Peak Fights, right?
Peak Fight Championships.
Shout out to Peak Fight Championships. Keep doing your thing, man. And yeah, dude, it was kind of trip because after your fight, the last time you were here,
yes.
After your fight, we went to somewhere. We went to go eat. It was me and my nephew, and they were showing those fights, and I was like, "Is there a UFC going?" Oh wait, no, that's Peak Fight. That's cool.
Yeah, the show is amazing, dude. I love the Peak show. It's growing a lot here, which I love that.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
I hope it keeps growing here because that's a big opportunity, not just for me, but for
everybody.
A lot of upcoming fighters that are trying to make a name for themselves here.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm so happy. That was a trip though, but I was actually really excited about that, and I'm very happy, dude. Your fight, I'll get to it in a second, but god damn, that was badass.
It's amazing.
We'll talk about that here in a second, dude.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I was tripping about that one. But yeah, go real quick. Yeah, like I said, guys, October 19th, go check out Peak Fight. Right, Peak Fight. Dude, Civic Center, go get your tickets. Trust me, it's worth it, dude. I promise you, it's legit. I liked it. I enjoyed. Dude, I was good, man. Yeah, I was good.
It's really fun. They've been outdoing themselves with the shows. They have a good environment.
Yeah, dude. I didn't expect it to be like that. I thought it was gonna be small, dude. I really did. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. But when I got there, I mean, it was a good size. It was a lot of chairs. I was like, oh, this is legit.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, dude. Yeah, that was.
I mean, it's a legit show, man. There's wars there. Yeah. And, I mean, I could speak for myself. And you know, it's a great place to get started, and it feeds into the UFC. Like, there's been people that have went from PFC to you know,
UFC.
higher places, and then and Bellator, like all that stuff.
Heck yeah, dude. Hey, how does that? Hey, real quick, do you know how that works? So let's say, for example, you want to go to those professional leagues. How does that work? Do you know?
Well, so here's the thing. So they're gonna be hiring the cream of the crop. You gotta be champion. You gotta hold belts and titles.
Okay.
Not only that, but you also gotta have a good fan base. Like, it's a business too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're gonna bring them an audience. You're gonna bring them people to watch their show. So again, you want to be known. You want to be loud. Have a good name to yourself, just so you know that'll be your key to the door. You know, and then of course, you know, you got to rank up. You know, you got to be obviously pro. I'm still amateur.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm still amateur.
I thought you were like intermediate. I thought you were something.
I mean, I'm a pretty advanced amateur. Like, I could go pro whenever I really want to at this point, but again, I want to build myself slow, because there is the mistake that people my age do a lot, that they go pro too quick. You know, and once you go pro, once you open that door, dude, you're not going back out that door. You're in there. You know, until your career, all the fights matter, all your training matters. Like, wins and loses will greatly impact your record.
Okay, that is. Oh, go on. Sorry, I just didn't know that.
Yeah, because I mean, people are gonna look at that, you know. And I will say though, like, MMA is way more forgiving than boxing when it comes to losses. Like, I mean, there's UFC fighters that have good handful of losses, but they still are in like the top 10, top 20. You know, still making bank. Still got a lot of fans. As long as you're rememberable and you got a good fan base, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I appreciate my fan base through my wins and losses and all that stuff.
Dude, oh my gosh, bro! Siege. Oh my god, I'm gonna try to.
I'm hoping that chant gets louder every fight. Like, I hope that chant gets louder every fight. I need it shaking the freaking building.
Guys, if you're listening, tuning in, please go watch these fights, man. Go watch CJ. Remember, Siege. Oh, it's good. It's so. I promise, it's legit worth it, man. Oh my gosh, bro! Can't wait. I'm gonna request that day off, and then I'm gonna take my nephew, and we're gonna check it out again.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. And not just me too. A lot of my other teammates are got fights themselves, and
Okay. So okay, real quick, you're in a. That's what it's called, camp. That's your.
They're called training camps.
Okay, so the guy. Okay, I did message him. What was his name again? Eric.
Yeah, Eric Mercado.
Okay, I invited him, so he will be on here in this next episode. He told me he had five people who. Okay, that camp. How many people are fighting in that camp?
I want to say about like 6 or 7 of us.
Oh, okay. So, in that camp, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
We're bringing a big team this time. Like, we got a lot of, just for it being local. I mean, a lot of people took up the veil on this one.
Okay, so he's your trainer, right?
Yeah, he is my coach.
And he's your coach. And he's is he fighting in that cartoon?
Yeah, he's also fighting there. He's making his comeback since for a while ago. He had dealt with, you know, a knee injury.
That's what it was. Okay.
And, you know, he took his time to heal, and he was being really smart about it. Like, you know, okay. You should be smart with knee injuries. And so he's got a lot of people excited with his return. Oh, okay. And I'm excited for his return. I think he's going to do really good. He has been working his butt off. Like, dude's a workaholic.
Okay. I can't wait to meet him. He had brought it up that he had a crew that's going to join. And man, if I'd known about that, because I thought it was just going to be the two of y'all. I didn't know there was going to be more. So I think next time I'd love to have more. I got another table, dude. I can bring more people. Yeah.
I think everybody else would love to be on here. Just have a group session. Like, that would be amazing.
I'll talk to him about that. But we'll try to work something out. Sometime I'll talk to him. We'll try to work something out. I'd love to have more of y'all. Y'all guys are legit. I can't wait to meet them. I only know you. I only know about you and Eric. That's all I know.
Yeah, you would love to get to know the rest of the team. They're all their own characters.
So what's the training? Okay, the camp. What is it called? Your house camp, I guess.
Yeah, the training camp.
Yeah, what is it called?
Yeah, it's
called. Do you have a name? Is there a name for it?
no, it's just called like in general. It's just called a training camp.
A training camp. Oh, yeah. Y'all don't have like a name for it.
No, it's not like a fancy name for it. Like anytime you're training for a fight, it's a training camp.
Oh, okay. It's not like he's from like Cobra Kai. It's not like that.
Yeah, nothing like that. Unless you're a nerd, but
That's so funny, man. So CJ, let me ask you this, okay? Oh yeah, real quick, just something stupid. I had one of the filmmakers locally here, very talented. Her name is CJ, red haired chick. Her name is CJ, and then I went to go get some coffee one time, and I ran into her, and I was like, CJ, what's going on? And she was like, oh, I'm good. And she's all like, I told her this just jokingly. I was all like, CJ, I have a cousin named CJ, and she's all like, oh, nice. And I just like stared at her. He can kick your ass. She just looked at me like, what?
You brandishing my name out like that, man.
I was just joking with her, but I thought that was funny, man. Because there was like, oh, we have two CJs. But I was joking. I was going to play by play. I was all like, he has the upper advantage. He knows more of this. And she's all confused because she doesn't know what I'm talking about. And now I'm joking
You
with her.
messing with this poor girl.
But I'm just messing with you, man. She's awesome, but I just thought that was funny. But okay, so anyways, so let me start with this one, CJ. Or let's start from the beginning with you again, okay?
Yeah.
New setup, everything's new here. So, early life, what brought you into let's start when you were a kid. Early life, what brought you into MMA?
Well, what brought me into MMA was, well, I could say it was my dad that first introduced me to the sport in general.
And shout out to Chris.
I started out with jiu-jitsu of all the styles first. It was just something to keep me active, something to keep me out of trouble. My dad wanted me to learn skills like that, like just to defend myself. And then as I got older, and I lost a lot when I was little. I remember I started like maybe 5 years old. That was probably that was when I started. I was little, still in elementary. And, I did tournaments here and there, and I lost for like 3 years straight. Like, I didn't win a single one, or I never got first place. Like, it was just, there was always if it came down just a kid with more skill or more grit, or they were just bigger than me, because I was a little chunky butt back then. Like, I was a little fatty fat. But once I turned about 8 years old, I finally got into boxing at 8 years old. And I think that's when the sport finally, I found a love for the sport, and the sport finally found me. I had done Golden Gloves. My first legit camp, I had to actually diet and train. It was day in, day out.
How old were you at that time?
I was 8. I was 8 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They made you do that at 8?
Yeah,
wow.
Dude, man, there's kids boxing at like 4 in some places, man.
I just didn't know you had to diet and get for an actual, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just thought that was teen.
I mean, because again, I was still pretty freaking fat. I will say boxing's the sport that made me lose a lot of weight.
Really?
And got me fit. Because,
wow.
You got it. Man, boxing cardio is immensely different than MMA cardio. As far as because, I could say MMA is a little more it's like fencing. You're kind of you got to worry about everything. You can't just walk in. You're going to run into a knee, a head kick, something. And boxing, you're just worrying about hands, dude. So that the output difference is way more than MMA.
Okay.
And the strikes are just a little more. And in MMA, I could say the strikes are a little more significant. You're fighting in 4 ounces compared to the 10 ounces they got, or 12 ounces they got. As far as damage wise, it's gonna hurt worse getting hit by an MMA glove than it is a boxing glove or a knee or a kick without any padding. But going off of that though, we trained legitly. I diet legitly. I was running. I was legit doing a good training camp, and I ended up winning. And I think that was when I was like, dude, I want to do this forever. This is gonna be what I do, and will say it was a that I remember that night I gotten so sick off of pizza.
Oh, did you?
This was the first time I
won?
stayed away from bread and everything. And I remember I got a celebratory Pizza Hut pizza, man, and I was sick the whole way home. That was
it's worth it.
Yeah, it was all worth it. I don't regret it still to this day.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So this was your 8 years. I remember one of those fights. I told your mom you punched the kid and he fell down, and then apparently he tripped, and I'm like, that was no trip.
Yeah,
he knocked him out. No, he didn't. No, but no, dude. No, I just remember that. That was so cool. And I'm happy for you. Now, this carried on all the way to your high school, huh?
Yeah, dude. I just kept going at it. We kept getting better. We kept changing things. We did more fights. We went to Las Vegas to fight. We've been a lot of places, you know, El Paso, New Mexico, and all that stuff throughout the years. I've traveled.
This was boxing straight or just?
This is just everything.
Oh, okay.
I've had like at least, I want to say 17 or 19 boxing matches throughout my youth, and then hundreds upon hundreds of wrestling matches because I've joined club wrestling at that point too. Started that journey and just got my mat time, my experience. Then with the MMA stuff, so usually it would be like, so each part would have a season. So during like the winters and all that, or fall or winter, that's kind of when wrestling season rolls out. You know, you're dedicated to the wrestling season because that itself is a grind. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the wrestlers out there. But yeah, wrestling, man, is a grind.
Okay.
From fall to spring, essentially, and that depends on how long you go. If you make it out of like district and go to regionals and then state, like, you know, your season could go way longer.
Oh, wow.
And then you can wrestle through the summer, but I didn't usually wrestle through the summer because that's when my MMA season would start or boxing season would start. I would usually be taking up fights during spring and summer and getting that skill in. You know,
that's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know none of that. Actually.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a season for wrestling or boxing or none of that.
Yeah. So, so boxing and MMA is year round, but wrestling is there's a season. And it would last from usually fall to spring.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. When did you meet your trainer? Eric, right? Is that his name?
Yes,
Or did you kind of flip-flop for different trainers? How does that work?
So I used to train at Extreme a long time ago, and then, you know, I grew up and just kind of outgrew him, you know. So then I went to what used to be the Grind, and then that's when I met Eric. You know, and dude, Eric was amazing. He was welcoming and very open-minded and just very like, I mean, he's his own character, dude, and he's just all fun to be around, and he made it more fun, and he was just very ambitious, and he still is ambitious. That's what I respect about him a lot. Is he's always on the next thing, the next fight, the next goal, you know, and it keeps you motivated, you know, and I think that's a really good thing to have as a trainer, just to keep your guys motivated like that. He's always on the move, always keeping us on the move, and I think that's a big part of our success.
So his name is Eric Mercado?
Yep, Eric Mercado.
Mercado, okay. I can't wait to meet him. Looking forward to meeting him. So then after that, you stuck with him, huh?
Yeah, stuck with him, man. He's trained me a lot, and he's been a big part of my successes and my wins. A big part of my growth as far as like the MMA fundamentals, like, because, you know, some gyms don't go over the MMA fundamentals like he does, you know. As far as like wall work, dude, people do underestimate wall work like immensely. And what I mean by wall work is like actually fighting on the wall, on the cage. You see those dudes like fighting on the wall, not in the open space. That itself is a whole nother technique. You got to know what to grab. You got to know what not to leave open, because like people get knocked out there. You can get taken down there. Like, you know, the wall could be a wrestler's world or a jiu-jitsu fighter's world. And, you know, you got to just know the maneuvers to get in and out of a situation.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
So he taught you all that. He taught you all that.
Yeah, I give all that to him. He's taught me the ins and outs of the MMA fundamentals.
Oh, okay. There was a guy, and his name is obviously I told you his name, Luis.
Yeah.
And I told him I was like, I want to join a gym, and I told him I was like, I want to join your gym because he has Beast Boy grappling. He has his own. I don't know if you know, I mean, what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
He talks highly about you. He's like, but he told me this. He's like, dude, just train with your cousin. Go train in his gym. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, I should, huh? But I just canceled one of my the gym memberships because I have like 4.
Oh.
I use them all too.
Really?
But this one I canceled it because I don't use it as much. And I was like, all right, well, I told Luis, I was like, I'll probably check out your gym. But then at the same time, I was thinking about your gym and Eric, and I was like, maybe I can look into that. But we'll see how that turns out. I've always wanted to meet him.
They're very welcoming, and I mean, shoot, you would be ecstatic if you asked him that. Like, he would be like, "Dude, come train tomorrow."
Oh, really?
He will literally, he'll tell that to your face. It's like, "Bro, come train tomorrow."
Yeah.
Very welcoming, very very friendly environment. Everybody helps each other. It's not toxic at all. Like, people are willing to teach each other, and they go at each other's paces. Like, it's a really welcoming environment, and you know that you got to have that in a gym.
Okay, I can't wait to meet him. Oh, like I said, I'm looking forward to meeting him. We'll see how. I'm looking forward to just. I don't know. I met him once. I shook his hand because y'all had. We'll get into that. Y'all won that one here in December.
Yeah.
And that's when I met him. But he had that really excited adrenaline rush because he was saying hi to everybody.
Oh, dude! Once you have a conversation with him, man, you're gonna just he's awesome. He's an awesome dude.
Because I'm not trying to compete. Now, if I was your age, I wish. Dude, looking back at my life, I wish I'd at least consider some form of fighting, boxing, MMA. I wish, but back then it was, I was just a little bit different compared to who I am now. But I'm not trying to compete, but I wouldn't mind just having
back
fun.
then in Amarillo, fighting wasn't as big as it was right now. Like, I could say like the fighting community in Amarillo has grown exponentially in like the last decade or so. Like, there used to not be a lot of gyms, and the gyms weren't as big. Now, like, we got a good handful of gyms in Amarillo that go fight, and I mean, it's showing now, and I'm really hoping Peak grows the business here more, because that's just gonna give a lot of opportunity, and I think it could make the show way more exciting.
Heck yeah, man. Peak fighting, right? Peak fighting.
Yep, Peak Fighting or Peak Fight Championships or PFC.
We'll just say PFC. I'm gonna try it because hopefully I can do something with them. But sorry, going to now, CJ. Whenever this was, oh god, when was your fight? You're here in Civic Center.
When was it? This one will be October 19th.
Okay, no. But the one I saw, Shigler. I want to get into that real quick. What was it? Do you remember that? Do you remember when it was? Spring? I don't remember.
When I went against Jack Dressler?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was probably last. Yeah, that was last spring.
Okay, this past spring. So let me bring you back to that real quick. So this was my first time at a. So I have been to a MMA fight. It was smaller. This was at the Azteca. I got front row seats. That's when you were younger. That's when we met Zeroni, and we were talking about that last time.
Yeah,
you remember that. So now, whenever I went to this one, I didn't know what to expect, but it was a lot of people, and it was big.
Yeah.
So then so whenever I saw these fights, okay, and shout out to all these guys. I don't know who they are, but they were damn good, all of them. And they were, what I'm saying? I was like, this is amateur. This is really entertaining. I like it. You know? And I'm thinking to myself, I hope next time I can get floor seats because it was entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna invite Luis and see if he wants to come with me. But I really liked it, man. It was so good. Now, all these amateur fights are really great. And then like I said, I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't drink or anything. I did eat. I had a good time. I was with my nephew, so I was with my brother, and we were sitting on the section with your dad and my cousins and all. It was a good time. Now, when you came out, dude, it was just like every other entrance. Everything was just normal. Your fight was badass. Your fight looked like because I've watched UFC for years.
Yeah.
And your fight compared to everyone else's was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. That, and just like, that's my cousin. Wow, this looks legit, like an actual UFC professional.
Yeah,
actor.
it was a good debut for Peak. That was my first time fighting on their organization.
Okay, that was your first time
Fighting for them.
for them. Okay, that was so good, CJ. That was badass. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
And you ended up winning that one, huh? You
Yeah,
ended
it
up
was a
winning?
unanimous decision.
Unanimous.
I won all rounds, dominated.
And yeah, you did shit just by when I saw it, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
I
And you-
wish I could have gotten the knockout or the TKO.
Yeah,
but
because he was.
I landed a good check hook on him.
Where did that hit? By the way, here.
It hit him in the back of the ear.
Oh, okay.
When
so
I look back at the video, it kind of hit him like right. He had his hands right here. I remember it went right behind the glove, like pinpoint perfect.
Was that what was it? Your hit, right? You swung and that's where you hit, right?
Yeah, I threw a left hook.
Okay.
Going forward off of a combo, and it ended up connecting. He did get back up rather quick.
Yeah.
The only reason and the punches were stinging him. That dude was like 6'3", bro. He was probably one of my tallest dudes I've fought in a while. Like, so the punches were stinging him, but they weren't like connecting. I guess like they weren't concussing. They hurt him, but he just had just enough height to like kind of almost roll them.
Yeah.
So I had to be a little more tactful on that because fighting a taller opponent, you don't want to just charge right in. That's a big risk taker.
Okay. So now the fight, and obviously unanimous decision. It was a good fight. Shout out to him. I know he didn't win, but it was one sided. You dominated all of it. The funny part about that was like our freaking one of our cousins. So the walk, like the fight's over. The dude leaves first, and then one of our cousins has the Siege shirt. He's like that taunting him, and I'm just.
I remember being told about that. I'm like, dang man, my crowd's crazy.
I was just like, come on, bro, don't do that. But he was doing that like, yeah, you lost. But he was,
I mean, that's the crowd, dude. Like, I love my crowd. I love my fans. Like, if they're gonna shout me out, they're gonna chant me, then they do that. You know what I mean? All two of them.
Yeah. But he was obviously like, I think he's just joking. It's all good. It's all good. Good job. But I brought that up to him. I was like, bro, why'd you do that for? He's all like, hey, it's crowd work. But
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's a point right there, dude. It's crowd. The crowd's gonna go wild.
Yeah, man. But shout out to you on that, man. That was a good fight, man. I'm happy for you. That was my first time seeing you fight, and I'm so glad I went. And I'm looking forward to this other one. Now, let's move on to your second fight. Now, I work nights, so I wasn't able to go to this one, and I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Now, who was that opponent?
His name was Jamal Moore.
Okay.
This was a title fight.
This was a title fight.
Yeah,
okay.
They offered me it right after this one.
Okay. And I was told this one was neck and neck.
It really was. This one was a war, dude. Like, out of all my fights, this one definitely, I had to take up the veil on this one. And I remember the, like, this was right after the fight. I had maybe less than a month off, like almost a month, but not a month yet. And and Pete contacted my dad, and he called me. He was like, hey man, like, they're offering you that title. And I'm like, no way. Like, I was so ecstatic taking that fight. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm on it. Like, I wasn't gonna pass that opportunity up. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't care what was happening. I was gonna make it work.
Yeah.
And so, the camp was a very long camp.
It was a
very long camp. But the fight in general, so it was a title fight. So it was 5 rounds instead of 3.
Oh, okay. Also, even though it's not the actual professional, it still applies to what y'all did. Okay.
Yeah, so if it's just a regular fight, then 3 rounds.
Okay.
But if it's a title fight, then 5 rounds.
5 rounds, okay.
And since and this is AMI still, so it was 5 rounds for 5 3-minute rounds. And so having that mentality for 5 rounds is very different from 3 rounds. Okay. Like, after that fight, I feel like I could take 3 rounds all day. Like, 3 rounds ain't nothing no more.
Okay.
It was a very, very long. It went all 5 too. It was a long scrap.
Was it? Hey, when you in a ring, okay, how many minutes per round?
It's 3 minutes.
So those 3 minutes, do they feel real long? They feel like
the first 2 feel rather short, but the last round feels probably the longest. But going that extra mile, and this was my first ever title fight, like legit title fight, and legit 5 rounds. the last 2 rounds was probably the longest rounds I've ever fought. They almost felt like 6 minutes each.
So I saw highlights of it and it was good, but the ones that actually saw it, like saw the whole thing through, they said it was bad. Like it was good. And they said you looked really good. They said that you looked like you actually had that. You know what I'm saying? And
It was a neck and neck fight, man. That me and him, we rocked each other each like 3 or 4 times each.
Really?
Like we buzzed each other good.
wow.
Like, I remember he landed one on me and I was a little dazed. I landed my hook on him again. And he was dazed. Like it was going back and forth.
Yeah. And I was also told he was my age.
Yeah,
I
he
heard
was like
he's been doing it
31.
yeah, and damn, that's crazy. And how old are you, man?
I turned 20 in like May.
You're old. I'm like, no. No, dude. Oh, straight up, dude. That's crazy. And you kept up with them. So obviously he had a lot more experience, huh?
Yeah, and that's what we go back on. I'm like, the dude's been in it for a while. And, you know, this was a good challenge for me. It was a good, even though it didn't end up how we wanted it, ended up in a split decision loss.
Yeah.
So it wasn't unanimous. Like the judges had to go to the scoreboard and really like pick and choose. Like, all right, well, he got the most points, and it happens, you know. But I mean, again, great experience. I now have that 5-round mentality and know what to expect. Like it was a really good experience overall, you know. Like, and that's kind of the stuff you need to advance in this life, in this fight life, is that is those like wars.
Okay. Yeah, man. Heck yeah, dude. And I'm very happy for you. I'm upset that you lost, but I'm happy. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying?
And I know a lot of people were upset, and I know it wasn't. I was upset. You know, like who's not gonna be? But at the end of the day, I was still like, you know what? I took up that fight. Nobody else took up that fight. Nobody else wanted to challenge him. I challenged him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, and you know, I'll pride myself on like, you know what? I went out there. I went out there and I stuck with it. You know, I didn't outright lose. You know what I mean? It was on equal terms, and he just got and that last judge gave him that one point.
Okay.
You know.
Dang, man. Whatever happened to him? Do you know? And what was his name, by the way?
Jamal Moore. So from what I heard, dude went pro right after that fight.
I heard about that actually.
Yeah, I mean he's 31, so yeah, he's gonna have to go pro and, you know, start pushing that, because I mean,
step for him.
Yeah, because I mean usually like, so once you're in your 30s, you know, you're in the fight world, you're considered to start getting old. You know what I mean? If you're fighting past age 35, you're considered ancient. Yeah, that's kind of how the general rule goes. But yeah, so he's pro, and you know, when I go pro, I'll eventually probably see him again.
I hope so, man. Where do you know where he went?
Where he went, like
you said he went pro, but where?
Yeah, so he's still fighting for PFC, but he's just in the pro division now.
Oh, pro division. Okay, okay. I thought he went like, you know, Bellator or something.
No. He's like in the pro division for PFC and fighting on the 155ers for their pros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought so. PFC is just its own.
Yeah, it's its own
UFC kind of deal.
Yeah, it's its own show. It's its own organization.
Okay. I thought it was just leading up to, you know, oh hey, Dana White called. You know, I thought that's where it was leading to.
Yeah,
that's cool though. No, heck yeah. So shout out to PFC. All right. Okay. PFC. Oh man, heck yeah, man. All right, guys, I'm going to break because I gotta go potty. I'm not even gonna try. I don't have no sponsors. One day. CJ, okay, so going to your fights, man. Happy for you. You've gotten bigger. I'm just saying. Another thing, man. So you experienced, was that your first loss or was that a
well, I mean, I've obviously had losses through my career, but like as far as like my adult amateur career, that was my first loss.
Okay, so you're one.
I'm 3-1.
Okay, dude. Whenever you look at like a loss, how does that feel?
I mean, a loss is disappointing.
Disappointing.
You know, and I've had a lot of losses through my youth, so I'm well accustomed to like the disappointment.
Okay.
You know, I'm not like one of those people that spaz out and like have a mental breakdown because they lose. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you really got to be like mentally tough because there's honestly another battle after you lose. You know, it's the fact that, you know, like, you know, we got to grow from there and we got to look back at our mistakes. And again, this was a great experience for me. You know, I don't ever, the way I see it, I don't take things as a loss. I take things as a lesson.
Okay.
And this was a really, really big lesson, you know, and a lot of things went into like, you know, like how I fought that night and what we did wrong here and did right here. And, you know, what we need to go back to and what we need to ditch, you know, things like that. You know, that's a whole nother thing itself is, you know, processing the loss after,
Okay.
you know, post fight.
Okay. So, you know, you're very, very, when you're a kid, your very first fight, dude, how did that hurt? Did that hurt pretty bad, or was it?
My first fight as a
little look kid, your first loss. My bad. Your first loss. Sorry, your very first loss.
I mean, I could recall losing a lot as a little kid, and you know, and it obviously sucked, you know, and it was obviously like, and I never thought I was gonna, you know, do great. I will say I'll give a shout out to my dad that he always kept my head up and told me, I was like, dude, you're gonna lose. You know, you're gonna lose. You in life, you will lose, and fighting, you will lose, and that's okay as long as you get back in there.
Yeah.
You know, and I always took his word for that, and eventually I reaped the benefits of it. I eventually started winning, and I started training harder and started winning more. Like it's a, you know, and I was a late bloomer as far as that goes in fighting. I mean, shoot, my little brother was scrapping kids and beating them when he was that age group. you know, and he's a talented little kid, and I think he's gonna surpass me in some certain skills because that's just he's gifted like that. Me, I've worked more for my skills, and I'll pride myself on that. But as far as like losing, man, like you know, you just gotta keep going, and I think that's what led to my success. You know, like I just stuck with it. I never quit. I never, you know, even if I got, you know, I rested certain points, but I never quit. I still kept going. I still kept working, you know, and eventually you'll start seeing the fruits of your labor. You just keep working at it.
Okay. Heck yeah, man. I'm happy for you, man. So, sorry about that loss, man. I was excited. I was hoping you would win that, though, man.
Yeah, and I was hoping too, but like, I mean, you know, things go unexpected, and no fight is guaranteed. You know what I mean? No fight is guaranteed, and that's something that a lot of people got to remember. Fighters especially, is even if they say that, you're going to beat this dude, you're going to, you know, like one punch is all it takes, dude, to turn the tide of a war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's been plenty of cases where people have been dominated and then they land that one punch, or they have that extra grit at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could tell, like, after that fight, man, we were both freaking exhausted. I remember that dude was like on the floor laying on his back after the fight. I looked back and looking at him, he was all tired on the floor, and his coaches were trying to get him up because we're about to announce. And I was just like, you know what, dude? No matter what happens at that point, I fought a war and hung in there. And, you know, and dude, and I didn't get knocked out. I didn't get punked out. I didn't get choked out or submitted. Like, you know, this dude was known to knock out people. And I mean, shoot, his last fight, he broke some dude's orbital with a knee.
Whoa.
Or with a punch.
Yeah.
I meant.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he was just known to mark people, and no, I freaking hung in there with him. He didn't punk me out.
Heck yeah, man. I'm happy for you. Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to that's what's up, man. Heck yeah. Excited. Sorry, bro. It's just that's what's up, man. So after that was it, huh? And then shook hands, you know, you lost. And
yeah, I mean, he visited me in the back, and we talked. He was like, hey, man, and you know, he gave me props for stepping up to him, and you know, and he was telling me, was like, dude, you're young, dude, you know, like you got a lot of stuff ahead of you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? You know, he has my respect. Just, you know, like he has my mutual respect. You know, like we fought, we scrapped. You know, so I'm gonna have respect for you.
Okay.
Same with Jack Dressler. He fought, and you know, he didn't punk out like some of my other fights. I don't know. When people drop out my fights, and like I remember before I went to PFC, man, trying to get matches, man, I would have like 3 or 4 dropouts before I get a fight.
Really? Why would they? The dropout is like they cancel.
They
right?
cancel the fight.
So would they be? Would there be reasons for it?
Some people say they're injured. Some people just drop out for no reason. And it's stupid because like now I got to find a whole nother fighter and study him and then train for him. Like it's all freaking process.
Oh wow.
I think the one time my second fight, I had 4 dropouts, and the day of weigh-ins, my dude didn't show up.
Oh man.
I was freaking livid, and I was like, at this point, I was like, dude, like, am I not gonna have a fight? Like all my fans are here, and like, and so then dude showed up with his fighter, and he was like, hey, I was like, he's around your weight. His fight canceled on him too, like the same day. I was like, let's make something happen. So we like legit shook on it and told the guys running the fight. And I was like, hey, it was like, let's make something happen here. And so we ended up fighting, and that was probably one of my quickest. I think that fight lasted like 30 seconds. Could have gone either way. Like the dude was, I think, also 30.
Okay.
He was another older dude, more experienced dude. Okay. That fight could have gone either way. I landed a good head kick that I threw off of intuition. I remember we were that fight was a flash, dude. I landed a good right on him, so he started moving and I started cutting, and I remember his coaches were like, "Get your hands up," and so off of instinct, I threw the head kick and it connected. And he wobbled, then he ate like 15, 20 punches on the way down.
Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah, that was that one was one of probably my cleanest fights.
Okay.
Like peak perfect, and like I mean, I'll give props to my coach and my dad too. Like we were on it. We were reviewing scenarios, and like this was probably the most last minute you're gonna get in a fight, and that was also a good experience for me too. Like it happens. Yeah. It's gonna happen. You'll have those days where you're just gonna have to adapt and overcome.
Heck yeah, man! I'm happy. Heck yeah, man! I remember that. I'm looking back. I remember that one. I didn't know that was last minute.
Yeah, it was extremely last minute. Like the day. Oop, my bad.
You good, go ahead.
But like the day before. You know what I mean? Like the day before. And so I was just like, and I was just thinking, I'm like, man, you know what? Like, I gotta fight. I gotta fight. I'm gonna fight.
Okay.
I'm not out. I'm not one of those dudes that unfortunately didn't get a match that day. Because some guys just didn't show up for other fighters, and all their work was for nothing. Yeah. That's honestly worse than not getting than going out there and losing. At least, what was your work for?
Yeah. That must be frustrating.
Very frustrating, dude. Yeah. Like, now I understand people get hurt and they have their legit reasons. I'm not gonna dog on that, but like if you just drop out for no reason and not let nobody know, you know what I mean? Like that's just taboo to me, dude. That's and fighting in general. Like, you don't do that. At least let people know. Yeah. At least have a legit reason. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was. I just wasn't aware about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Training all that for no reason. That sucks. Hey, but when fighting, so you have an opponent, do you have to like pregame, like not pregame, like how does that work?
Review your fighter.
Yeah. Do you have to do that?
Yeah.
Is that mandatory?
Like study them. Like it's like, I mean, it's well known. Like if you have footage on your guy, if you have pictures, or like if you have any info on them, that you use it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just the game. Like I know my opponents review me. I have plenty of videos of my fights out, and Peak posts my fight on their stuff, so they're gonna have info on me, but I got info on them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's if you're about it, you will search up your fighter and you will learn his weaknesses and and exploit it.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say, so whenever it's a last minute fight, you don't get that, huh?
Not at all.
You just go in blind and.
Well, I mean, and we had some info on our guy. We at least learned he was a southpaw.
Okay.
So that itself was a big help, because if not knowing what stance your fighter's in is kind of a thing to get across.
Okay. So now That was it, right? So that was it. You won that one, and then that's when you met Shegler and all that stuff, and then
So then after that we went to PFC, and then for my debut, and that's when I went against Jack Dressler.
Okay, Dressler. Okay, and then after that, then you went after the title thing.
Yeah, then they offered me that title right after because they like the fans that I brought. Again, shout out to my fans, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Y'all guys are a backbone to me. Like y'all really my fans really contribute, and they don't even know it. Like they get me up there, you know, because they like that. Organizations like that. They love the crowd, and you know what I mean. The crowd is part of the fighter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You were loud. That was the loudest. That was the loudest. When I was there, the loudest crowd.
They love the hype that I brought. They love the camaraderie and the union that everybody had. You know, and that. And so they liked me. They thought that I would be a good pick for that fight.
Do me a favor, move your thing right here and show this camera your shirt. Look at that, it's siege. I can't wait to yell that again. Man. That was a good fight. That was that time. Did they keep that energy in your title fight?
Oh yeah, they were screaming, dude, like that. That whole place was echoing.
It was echoing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's cool, man. Shout out to this. Is there a fan base? Is the Siege family or something, or is it the? There's nothing.
I really never considered the crowd's name. I mean, shoot, I consider them family just for the amount of support they've given me, and you know, some of these people have watched me grow up. You know, and then I got my newer fans, which I have a lot of respect for. That you know, like. I appreciate the support, you know?
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah, man. All right, man. Heck yeah, dude. I'm happy for you, CJ. So now let's move on to this one. Your next fighter, what is his name? And what do you know much about him?
He goes by Michael, I believe.
Michael.
And couldn't find a lot on him. He was he's quiet on his posting and his in his video. I do have some info on him. From what I can see, he does like to wrestle.
Oh, okay.
He has his last fight. He took a dude down. Longer fighter too. I think he's a little taller than Jamal Moore. They're actually from the same gym too.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got footage from Jamal's fight against me and him. But from what I can get off of him, that he likes to wrestle. He took down his last guy and was able to dominate from a top position the whole fight. The dude just had sucky stand up game. He couldn't get back up at all.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Yeah, they're from this again same gym. I think they're from South Texas.
South Texas. So San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio I believe San Antonio.
Okay. Okay, man. That's your next fight, man. This is gonna be This is not gonna be
not a title fight. This will just be a regular match, a 3-rounder.
3-rounder.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. Like after 5 rounds, I can honestly do any 3-round fight.
Okay, you're just not worried about the how to explain it, the tiredness, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like I will say there is the pressure of a title fight is vastly different than a regular fight. Like this just feels like another day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not that it's not important. All my fights are important, but this is just another day in the ring for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Another day training, another day fighting.
Okay. And you're excited about this one?
Of course, I'm excited. I'm excited about all my fights. You know, you got to be excited about your fights. If not, then what are you going in them for?
Mm-hmm. Is he the same age as you? Or is he?
He's a little. He looks. I think he's in his like mid-20s. So he's younger.
Do you know his what do you call it? His record?
I think he's also around the same record as me.
Okay, so like
3-1.
So we're getting into we're just getting into another a battle.
Yeah, just another battle amongst fighters. You know what I mean? I am the number 1 contender right now. PFC had rankings a while back.
Nice.
And I'm ranked underneath the. So since Jamal went pro, the belt's vacant right now, but by default the title went to a dude named Jackson Berg. Okay. His record is cleaner. He doesn't have any losses. Okay. So by default went to him. But I'm right under him as number 1 contender.
Nice.
I was hoping to get him for this fight, but he got another dude to fight. I think he's gonna whip him.
Okay.
But it'll probably be a no contest for him. I was honestly hoping to challenge Berg. but he didn't take the contract.
Okay, so right now you're more well. You're most likely gonna get to him eventually, huh? You
Eventually.
have your eyes on that eventually, huh?
Eventually, I mean, I think he'd be a good kill.
Heck yeah. And now again, what's his name again? Your opponent upcoming again? Michael.
Yeah, he just goes. Yeah, his Michael. I don't know his last name. I just see him as Michael.
Michael. Heck yeah, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it, man. I cannot wait to just. I'm looking forward to it. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Me too. It's always good to be like excited when the fight draws near. I think we're gonna be 3 weeks out soon to fight week.
Okay, man, and I'm excited doing that. Like I said, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, October 19th, CJ, aka Siege, will be fighting over there on Amarillo, Texas Civic Center. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a great fighter. He's one of the best fighters in town. Honestly, he's probably one of the best fighters here in the state of Texas. And future champion, ladies and gentlemen. No lie. Go get your ticket. Contact me or contact him. Links in the description down below. Shout out to Peak Fights. Get your ticket. Go watch. Don't matter. Just go watch. I promise you, it's super good, dude. Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to it, CJ. I really am. Before we wrap things up, man, what do you want to say to your peep?
Hey, everybody. I want to just give a shout out to everybody and give shout out to my sponsors too. Y'all are a big help, and I want to let y'all know that y'all encourage me to fight and y'all keep me fighting. I fight to be the people's champion, and I want to be y'all's champion. So I really hope y'all will experience this new step forward with me. Don't forget there also is pay-per-view. If you can't get a ticket, you go to the peakfightingchampionships.com. Click the October 19th fight. It'll be right in front of you. It'll be like one of the top fights that they have. And then once you get your ticket, use code Casarez. That's CASAREZ, my last name. It helps me, gives me credit, and it'll get you seated with us. Everybody will be in the same column, so everybody will be together. It'll be a nice little roar in the stadium.
Yeah, it's worth it, guys. Like I said, man, Civic Center, Amarillo, Texas, October 19th. It's on a Saturday. Check it out. I will see you guys there. Shout out to PC, right? PFC. Shout out to PFC, guys. Get a hold of me one of these days, man. Love to do a little collab with you guys. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is our boy, our favorite and our future champion, CJ, aka Siege. This episode is available on YouTube and Spotify, and hopefully iTunes here pretty soon. Everyone, thank you all guys for tuning in. CJ, we love you guys, man. We love you so much. Shout out to your dad, Chris. Shout out to your mom, Anna. Shout out to your boy, Thumper. Hopefully I get to see him here pretty soon.
Oh, he would love to have a podcast with you. That kid's a riot.
I bet he is, man. He's gotten a lot bigger. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, heck yeah, man. Thank you guys so much. October 19th, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. CJ, take it easy, buddy.
Of course.